With the Black Lives Matter movement sweeping the nation, individuals across the United States and beyond are making their voices heard. And the United States unemployment rate has declined for the first time in months, showing a positive economic front on the horizon. I'm Joe Maronski, and this is what's happening. On May 25th, Minneapolis police received a call alleging the use of a counterfeit $20 bill. When police arrived, they made contact with George Floyd. After an exchange, former police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck, which led to his death. Since then, protests have occurred nationwide, at first calling for charges against the officers responsible for Floyd's untimely and irresponsible death. Derek Chauvin has been charged with second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. The other 3 officers involved have all been charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. However, protests continue worldwide, calling for sweeping police reform and even the disbandment of police departments. In Minneapolis, the city council has voted to fully disband the police department and opt for a community-led watch program. While many protesters nationwide have remained steady in their cries for peaceful assemblies, others have used this time to loot and destroy buildings. Minneapolis has become a sort of war zone within our own country, as each night, buildings burn and stores are looted. New York City has become another major hotspot for rioters to assemble, as well as Los Angeles, where looters were seen live running past cops with goods in hand. Additionally, in Atlanta, the first floor of CNN Studios was destroyed while the controversial network was live. The family of George Floyd has begged for an end to violence, with his brother saying in regards to the looting, quote, "That's not gonna bring my brother back at all." Many protesters took these words to heart, and there has been a stark change in the hostility level of protests. Many people have opted to participate in sit-ins for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in honor of George Floyd. However, the controversy still remains over the looting, as many reports have shown that most violent protesters were not from the area they created chaos in. Investigations are occurring across the nation looking into these claims. And as the coronavirus pandemic still looms across the world and its economic effects are felt by many, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics released a promising report this week. The unemployment rate, which was expected to hit 20%, has declined for the first time in months. The Bureau says the rate is now at 13.3%, with nearly 2.5 million workers returning to jobs. I'm Joe Maronski, and that's what's happening. The FDA has pulled approval for 2 malaria drugs touted by President Trump to help with COVID-19. The Black Lives Matter movement continues, with many television shows being canceled. And the Supreme Court has made a landmark decision for LGBTQ rights. I'm Joe Maronski, and this is what's happening. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, scientists worldwide are still working towards finding ways to treat and prevent the virus. President Trump has touted the use of chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, 2 drugs used to treat malaria. The president told reporters on May 19th that he had been taking hydroxychloroquine as a preventative measure, and the White House doctor says he remains in good health. However, the FDA has just pulled its emergency COVID-19 use approval for both chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, saying it is unreasonable to believe that the drugs are effective in treating the deadly virus. As protests continue to grow across the nation seeking justice not just for George Floyd, but all people of color killed by police, Hollywood has seen a major change. Shows such as Live PD and Cops have been canceled, as many say it portrays the exact social injustices which they are protesting. Additionally, children's shows such as Paw Patrol have been canceled over characters portraying police officers. Many have claimed that by removing the representation of law enforcement from television, police officers will be forced to address the issues within their systems. On the contrary, others have claimed that this elimination will cause children to fear officers even more and not understand what their job is, nor understand how to interact with law enforcement. In a landmark ruling for LGBTQ rights, the Supreme Court has ruled that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act protects LGBTQ employees from discrimination. In a 6-3 decision, the court stated that Title VII, which bars discrimination based on sex, also protects people from being discriminated against based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Justice Neil M. Gorsuch and Chief Justice John G. Roberts Jr. joined the liberal justices, while Justice Clarence Thomas, Justice Samuel A. Alito Jr., and Justice Brett M. Kavanaugh wrote the dissenting opinion. Until today, it was legal in 29 states for an employer to fire someone simply for being a member of the LGBTQ community. And in Buffalo, New York, a high school senior received the surprise of a lifetime. Antonio Gwynn Jr. saw the destruction in his city and knew he had to do something. By the time the city cleaners arrived, Gwynn had cleaned up most of the mess. As a thank you, he received a 2004 Mustang, a full college scholarship, and free car insurance for a year. It's important in times like these to remember there is still good in humanity. I'm Joe Maronski, and that's what's happening.
We, the students of High Point University, vow to leave the world better than how we found it.
We promise to take a stand against injustices when we see them.
As humans, we understand the role we play.
Even though it may not be an injustice directly against us, we understand that it is our responsibility to stand up.
We realize that by not stepping in, we aid and abet bigotry and hatred.
Although we may come from different backgrounds, we stand together in the fight for equality.
Regardless of political affiliation.
Regardless of sexual orientation.
Regardless of gender identity.
Regardless of religion. Regardless of race.
Regardless of nationality.
We all bleed red.
And we are one.
It is our responsibility to stand up.
It is our responsibility to step in.
It is our responsibility to be proactive, not reactive.
It is our responsibility to work as one.
It is our responsibility to remain united.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. sits on the promenade each day as we walk past him on our way to class.
He once said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Now is the time when we must protect justice.
We are the students of High Point University, and together, we will be the change.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Sam Carr.
I, Emmy Beck Aiden, Speaker of the Senate.
I, Tyler Thomas, Treasurer.
I, Lizzie Eisenhart, Secretary.
I, Jessica Vedrani, Attorney General.
I, Lindsay Enright, Chief Justice.
I, Jacob Calda, Chief of Staff.
I, Sydney Sullivan, Diversity Chair.
I, Joseph Maronski, Publicity Chair.
I, Foreign Patel, Service Chair.
I, Katie Parisi, Academic Chair. I, Kennedy Jackson, Student Services Chair.
I, Alex Witt, Technology Chair.
Do solemnly swear
To uphold the Constitution
of the Student Government Association
Of High Point University.
and the University Conduct Code
And the University Honor Code.
And I swear to perform
to the best of my abilities
the duties and responsibilities
of the office of which I now assume.
Oh, great day, great day, the righteous march in great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, the righteous march in great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. To the mountain top, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. God's walls gonna change its soul, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, the righteous march in great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. This is the day of the Jubilee. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. The Lord has set his people free. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, the righteous march in great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. We want no cowards in our path. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. We call for rallies. Marching great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, the righteous marching great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, the righteous marching great